Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna tackle this HackerRank question, and this question is about repeated strings, and we're gonna solve it using Python. So you wanna read the question carefully. It says there is a string S, and you wanna extract as much information as you can from the question. So we're not gonna go over the question itself. You can read it on your own, but basically we have a string S, and this string is given here as just an example ABCAC, and then we're also given an integer which is n, and n is equal to 10 in this example, which means that we're gonna have this string repeated twice. Why twice? Because this one has 5 characters, and if we are given 10, so then that means that we'll have the string twice. So ABCAC, ABCAC. So the first 10 characters of the infinite string, right? So this is the 10 gives the first 10 characters, or so if there's like let's say there are 100, right? So then we'll have 100 characters. So this defines the beginning of the string, I guess. So like the first 10 characters, 2 characters, 100 characters, depending on what n is. We want to find how many times, in this case, how many times the letter A repeats. It's here. So how many A's does this string has? All right. So what we want to do is, let me just go to Paint here. All right, and then so this is HackerRank. You can create an account and then submit your code here, and we'll go over these sample inputs, which are examples, and this is where you start. All right, so let's just go back to the question, and let's start outlining some of the things that we have. So in this case, we're given a string S. This case is ABCAC, and we're given an integer which defines the first characters of the string, of the infinite string. So in this case 10, which means that our string would be ABCAC, which is 10. So we repeat the string twice, and this is 10 characters, and that's defined by the number n equal to 10, by the integer n equal to 10. And then we want to know how many times A repeats. So here, how many times the letter A repeats in the string, right? So let's so we won't take this example. We'll take this example because that's the one that if we submit our code, that's the one that's gonna check for. So the first thing that we want to do, so we are given here the function, and it takes 2 parameters, S and N. So we're gonna define, we have the string, right? This is the information that we're given, and the string S is equal to A, B, A here, and then we're given N, which is equal to 10, which means that we're gonna have the first 10 characters. So the string is gonna repeat until we have 10 characters. So string, this is a string after we do this. So it's gonna be A, B, there. So now we have 3, 6, 9, 10. So that's the string that we want to know how many letter A's it has. So we can do it easily, right? Just by looking at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So the answer is 7. So we'll have so this is the answer. So we'll have 7 A's. As you can see here, it says that we have 7 A's. All right, so but let's do it using code, right? So we're gonna find R equal to 0, which is this is gonna store the result, how many A's we have. So it's gonna start at 0, and then we're gonna say L equal to the length of the string, and this is how you get the length of the string. So the length of the string is 3, right? Because we're taking this string, because S is just ABA, right? And N is 10, but we never make the string like this. So the length of S is gonna be 3. So what we do next is we're gonna implement a loop. So for I in range from 0 to L, because we wanna iterate through the string, like how many through the length of the string. In this case it's 3, right? So then do the following: if, and then we're gonna check each character to see if it's an A or not. So if it's equal to an A, then do something, just make R, just increase R by 1. All right, and then just return R. All right, so that's what we have right now. Let's go over this code to see what it does. All right, so we have R equal to 0, L the length of the string, and then for I in range from 0 to 3, because the string is 3, has 3 characters, right? The length of the string is 3. So if, and here we're gonna start replacing. If the first character is equal to A, then increase R by 1. If the second character is equal to A, then increase R by 2, by another 1, which would be 2. So let's do it one by one. So when we start the loop, we start at 0, right? From 0, it's here, to 3. So in this case, when we have S, we replace the I by a 0. It's equal to, so what is this equal to? So when we take this string, forget about this string for now. We'll take this string. So the first character is an A. So this is, we start at 0. So 0, 1, and 2. All right. So we start at 0. So that means we have an A. And that's equal to A. So we mark this. So then we have to increase R by 1. So it was 0 before, so now it's 1. All right. So now we have S. Oh, what was that? All right, so we have S, and then we have a 1 here, which means that we have, what's the second character? It's a B. B is not equal to A, which means that we don't increase the R stays just 1. It's not increased by another 1, so we don't add 1 up. All right, and then we have S. I don't know why it's doing this. So S, and then we have a 2 here, which corresponds to another A. So then we'll have A, it's equal to A, right? So then we increase R by 1. So now it was 1 before, so now it's 2. And then we return R, which is going to be 2. So let me just run the code here. Of course, it's going to be wrong, because we're just iterating over this string, and we want the string that's repeated, this number of times, or that has this number of characters. So as you can see, our output is 2. So we know our code works, but they're expecting 7 because that's the answer, because we're given 10, right? So now let's keep working on our code here. So let's forget about that. All right, so what we want to do is, let's just, so we're doing the right thing. We're on the right track. We're going through the string, but now we have to implement this, right? So let's say that, so now we have to do R times equal to the integer of n, because we need to take this into consideration, and then the length of the string, and then we have return R. Okay, so what are we doing now? So let me just show you. So this part here, so so R is gonna be multiply, so wherever R is, so in this case we have R equal to, well, 2, right? So we're gonna multiply it by, we're gonna divide, yeah, so we have 10, right? So we're gonna have 10 because n is equal to 10. And then L, what's L? So if we look at L, L is the length of the string. So the length of the string is gonna be 3, right? So we're gonna have 3 here. So it's different. We know it starts at 0, 1, 2, right? So it's 3. The length of the string is 3. It has 3 characters. And then we put here integer, because we want a whole number. We don't want any fractions here. So what we'll have next is 2, times, what's 10 divided by 3? So if we do that here, so what we'll have here is we'll have a 3. Well, if we keep dividing, so let's say that we keep dividing, right? So we'll have another 3, and then it'll just keep going, right? So it's 3, 3, 3. So what we'll have here is 2 times, integer 3, 3, which is gonna make it a 3 because we're getting rid of this fraction. We don't want fraction, so we're gonna convert it to an integer, to a whole number. So then it's gonna be 2 times 3, so it's gonna be 6. All right, so what are we doing here? So we're getting 6, which means that we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what's happening to this one? So that one is getting cut. Let me just run the code and you'll see what I mean. So we're gonna get 6 now. So we get 6, which makes sense because we're dividing 10 divided by 3. We get 3.33, and then we're getting rid of this. So we're just partially dividing this string. So we're not dividing the entire string. So we need to account for this. That's it's not dividing evenly. That's why we're not accounting for this one here. All right. So we need to keep working on the code. So let's go back. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna implement another loop, which is gonna look for if we have any remainder, if we have anything left, right? From 0 to, so what would be here the limit? So it's gonna be n divided by, well, it's not divided, it's module L. So you have a 1, right? So we're taking care of this, but then we're leaving this out. So now we're gonna take care of this because the module focuses on this part. So when you do 10 divided by 3, or 10 module 3, this is what you get. All right. So then what we're doing is checking if that part of the string that's left out is also an A. And if it's also an A, well, increase R by a 1 as well because it's also an A. Okay, should be good now. So now we're looking at the whole string. Before we were just looking, because it wasn't divided evenly, we were just looking at this, this, and this, which is pretty much this. So it's 3, right? So because we got 10 divided by 3, we get 3. So we're just gonna look at this part, but we were leaving out the A, which is also part of the string. But now we're taking care of it by doing the module 10 module 3, and then we're also looking at that string to see if it's character A or the letter A, and if it is, we're also increasing R by 1. So now if we run our case here, run the code. So if we run the code, we should get 7, which is as you can see, it's approved, and we get 7. So let me just go over this once again. All right. So we have a string, which is S. We have n equal to 10. So this defines how many times the string is, how many characters of this infinite string we're gonna get. In this case, 10, right? So we get 3, 6, 9, 10 here. And then we're asked, check how many letter A's we have in that 10 characters. So we have 7. We can just do it easily, right? But now we have to implement it through code, using code. So R is equal to 0. It's the result. It's the count of letters A here. So we start at 0. Then the length is the length of the string, the original string. We haven't implemented this. And then we do, we just go over this, right? So we loop through it. So we use I in range from 0 to the length of the string. Let's see, 0 to 3, right? So it's gonna iterate 3 times. And then we're gonna check each time that it iterates through the string. We're gonna check if the character that we're looking at is an A or not. If it is an A, then we're gonna mark the result. We're just gonna increase R by 1, which is we're just counting how many A's we have. The first, we have 0, which is an A. So we mark it and we increase R by 1. The second one is a B. It's not equal to 1, so R stays a 1. This the third character you can say, but it's 2 here because we start at 0. It's an A, so then we increase R by 2. All right. So we're just going over this string, and checking if each character is an A or not. However, we haven't implemented 10, n equal to 10. So now we're gonna do it by doing the following. So we're gonna multiply the result of we iterating through this string based on how many times it repeats, right? So since we're given n equal to 10, we use integer 10 divided by 3, which I did here. Let me just move it here. So this is this part of the code. So we're multiplying the result, which it was 2, right, of our iteration over this string, of the original string. And then we're saying we're repeating the string, check the first 10 characters of this infinite string, and then divided by 3, which is the length of the original string. And we'll just, we get 3.333. We don't want a fraction, we want an integer. That's why we use int. And then we'll get a 3 here, a whole number. So 3 times 2 is a 6. So we get, so we're taking care of this part here. However, since it's not divided evenly, we're leaving out this part of the string, which is also a character and it's a part of the string. So we have to look at that as well. So to do that, we do another loop to loop through what's left, right? So for I in range from 0 to module. So we use module. Why? Because we take care of this when we do the division, but then the module is going to take care of what's of the remainder, right? So that's why we do module. So in this case, it will be just 1. So from 0 to 1. So it's going to iterate just 1. So here we have 0, and it's going to look through this, which is going to say, is that like an A or not? And if it is, we're going to increase R by 1. And then we're going to return R. So which is going to be 7 now, because this is also an A, right? And that's how you get, and that's how you implement this code. So let me just run through the test case 1. All right, so this one is going to divide evenly. We just have 1, so the string is A, and then we're repeating it a bunch of times. So then the same thing. So for I, so then we get, what's L? It doesn't look like an L. So what's L? So L is just the length of the string, which is A. So it's just going to be 1, right? So then the range is going to be from 0 to 1. So it's just going to go once. So from 0. All right. So that's, so what's that? Well, this is 0, right? So it's S to the 0, it's A. So this checks out. It's also an A. All right, that's horrible. And that means that R increases by 1. All right. So then what we're doing is we have to multiply this by, the integer of the division of how many times we're of the first, any times that we're repeating it. So 10 to the 12th, which is n, divided by the length of the string, which is 1. And this is just going to be 10 to the 12th multiplied by 1. Well, it's just going to be R is equal to 10 to the 12th. And that's going to be the answer. This one is divided evenly. So then this part of the code is not going to run because we don't have anything left to run through. So it's just going to look at it's just going to use this part of the code. So this one is just going to get ignored. And then you return R, which is 10 to the 12th. And here you can see that, the code worked because my output is this and this is what it was expecting. And that's pretty much how you do this problem. That's how you implement it using Python. It's not that difficult. You just need to get the hang of it, and then just try to just write it out, just draw it or whatever, and in that way you can understand it better, so you can go step by step and see where you're missing or not. Yeah, that's all for today. So we looked at this problem, and I'll see you on the next video.